Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Tulsa Life channel. If you are new and like the content, consider subscribing.
In this video, we travel down to Key West, Florida, in the Tiffin, and we're staying at the Bluewater Key RV and Resort, which I'll show you a little bit later. The first thing I want to share with you is our ride down to Key West, which was pretty cool. After passing through Miami and Homestead, we had the Florida Keys in our sight. You know, the Florida Keys are a string of tropical islands stretching about 120 miles off the southern tip of the United States from the state of Florida and travels between the Atlantic Ocean and the Gulf of Mexico. The scenic 110-mile overseas highway provides beautiful ocean views, as Clay and I observed as we crossed over the 42 bridges that stretch from the mainland to Key West. Truly one of America's most unique and beautiful highways. Each region of the Keys has its own unique character, worlds away from the big cities and theme parks. We traveled through Key Largo, Islamorada, Marathon, and then we came upon the 7-mile bridge, one of the longest bridges of its kind in the entire world. Man, what a view. Then we traveled through Big Pine Key and then the Lower Keys. And our final stop was at the Bluewater Key RV Resort here in Key West. You know, Key West is the nation's southernmost city and is actually closer to Havana, Cuba than Miami. And after a quick check-in at the office, we were escorted to our RV site, Site 61. Once we got pulled in, it was time to do what RVers do: set up camp.
Now that we're set up, we're going to hop on our beach cruises and take a ride through the resort so that you can see what it looks like. So come along with us.
Okay, we made it to the front entrance of the resort here at Bluewater Key. One of the first things you see as you enter the gates is the iguana there on the right. They are very prevalent in the resort, but harmless and beautiful to look at. All of the luxury sites at the Bluewater Key are privately owned and are landscaped with a variety of tropical plants, shrubbery and trees as designed by the owner, so no two are exactly alike. The sites are large, averaging 35 feet in width and 80 feet deep, and some are even larger. They all have water, sewer, and electric with 30 and 50 amp hookups, along with HD cable TV. As mentioned earlier, all have lush tropical landscaping that provides shade and privacy between the sites. The tiki huts and outdoor seating are a minimum on all the sites, and many actually have additional patio furniture, cabinetry, countertops, TVs, sinks, refrigerators, and other amenities. Also, all the bayfront sites and most of the canal sites actually have private docks. And as Clay points out, that's us in our Tiffin open road on lot 61.
Iguana.
Where?
Right there.
Oh yeah. There's another iguana, and you see they're all over the campground here. Don't want to scare the little fella off, but there he goes. And several of these sites are currently for sale. Lot 74 right here, this piece right here is only $770,000. And here's lot 65. Lot 65 is $950,000. It's all cobblestone or brick. But there's a $950,000, $1 million right there. $1 million piece of property. And here's the beautiful pool. A large clubhouse, which houses a laundry room as well as restrooms and showers. And in the rear of the clubhouse is a common area with access to the canal and the new 200-foot community dock. Guys, I'm going to show you our lot now on lot 61. Of course, here's our Tiffin. Here's what our lot looks like here. You can see it also has a lot of beautiful landscaping, a lot of privacy between you and the RVs that are beside you. And the one beside us, of course, is empty at the moment, but you can see it here. Very cool. We also have on this lot, 61 has a tiki hut, has lights and stuff, and I'll show that to you a little bit later. So here's the inside of it. Little fan there. There's always a breeze down here. In fact, I may not be able to use this sound, but there's always a beautiful breeze down here in Key West. So I'm told. And so there it is, guys. This lot 61, our lot for a few days down here. And we really, really enjoyed this place so far. Really enjoyed it. After touring the RV resort, we're renting some kayaks through the RV office, which also can help with your rental car needs, as well as jet skis, paddle boards, and other items. Clay and I had never kayaked before, so we thought this would be a great opportunity. So my brother and niece were off. Then it was Clay and my time to give it a shot. Man, this was a great workout. We enjoyed the beautiful bay, which becomes very shallow just off the shoreline. After a few minutes, we got the hang of rowing. And before long, we were rowing like Olympians. And of course, being on the water provided another perspective of the RV park. And here is one more perspective. Back at sea level, it was time to dismount the kayak. Clay did fine. But I must have missed the instructional class on the topic. To the amusement of Clay and other family members, I was finally able to climb out to safety. All right, so we've arrived at a very popular place down here in the Keys called Robbys. We're going to come and look through some of their shops here, and then grab a great lunch. It's supposed to have a great view right here on the ocean, and then we'll go feed the Tarpons.
Oh, yes.
What you got? What do you have there, Clay?
I have the mile marker 0.
You know what I mean? Southernmost point there, that's cool.
Where's that?
Right there.
You said you wanted one of these.
The shops at Robbys had everything you'd want to symbolize and remind you of salt life and beach life. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I'm so glad you guys are here. Have you been here before?
No, it's our first time.
First time?
Yeah.
Well, let me just tell you a little bit about our art. All of the frames that you see, they are all made out of recyclable lobster traps. All of the paintings and all of the underwater photography have been done by one local couple, Glenn and Nadine, and everything is handmade here in Isla Morada.
Oh, okay.
So it's pretty cool.
Wow,
So if you're looking
yeah.
for a special gift,
The restaurant offers stunning views of the Gulf of Mexico. While walking around, I became interested in all the dollar bills that were stapled all over the place. I mean, they were on the roof, they were on the trees, and then I learned. So the tradition here is you can come in here and sign a dollar bill or sign any bill and put it on the wall, put your name and your date that you were here, and they'll keep it up there. So we're about to do that here. We were here on 9/20.
So far, nobody else has signed up. You guys around for tonight? Hey, can I?
Hey, y'all doing? Oh, you gonna put the bill up?
Yeah,
There you go. Now you can come back next year or whenever you come back and
yeah.
prove it in here, provided we don't get blown away with another hurricane.
Right. How'd y'all do in last
Ooh,
year?
not good.
Yeah.
Oh, this is all new.
Oh, is it? Wow. Yeah. Well, this is what having lunch at Robbys looks like down here in Key West. Tough life. Somebody's got to do it. Clay and I are sitting here enjoying some dinner at Robbys, and we just continue to have these little friends show up. The iguanas were plentiful. I'm sure they were just looking for some food. Then it was time to feed the tarpons. A cool experience for anyone visiting Robbys. They were huge. For $4, you get a small bucket of fish to feed them by hand. I thought it would be to my advantage and my best interest to watch the process so I can learn and hopefully determine a best practice regarding feeding these large fish. And then I witnessed this. His whole hand was in that tarpon's mouth. I thought he was gonna pull you in, man. The second time was even close. Then I watched my sister-in-law give it a try. And as you just saw, the tarpon took the fish and almost took her hand. Thankfully, the tarpon's teeth were like sandpaper and not the typical teeth of a saltwater fish. So after watching a few more people feed them, it was my turn. And hey, I wasn't taking any chances. And then my niece Morgan wanted to give it a try. She too was very careful until the very end. Wow, that was a little too close for my comfort.
Okay guys, so we had a great time here at Robbys, feeding the tarpons, having a great lunch, looking at the iguanas, and now we're heading down to downtown Key West to Duval Street.
Duval Street and other points of interest down there. So we arrived in downtown Key West, where Key West's finest had the streets blocked off just for us. For some reason, we saw these guys all over Key West. And then we saw a very popular landmark. Southernmost point is a beautiful concrete buoy that marks the southernmost publicly accessible place in the continental United States. The buoy is 90 miles north of Cuba. It's also one of the most photographed attractions in Key West. Next, another popular landmark, the end of US 1. That's right, mile marker 0. US 1 is the longest north-south highway in the United States, stretching from here in Key West all the way to the US-Canadian border in the state of Maine. Pretty cool. The next landmark was Ernest Hemingway's home, an American novelist, short story writer and journalist. He actually lived here and called Key West home for some 10 years. And the next landmark was
Just behind me is the little White House that President Truman used to come and stay in back in the day. You know how all the presidents have their places to stay and retreat? Well, this was President Truman's retreat here. Right here in Key West, Florida. Pretty cool, huh?
Yes, that's right. President Harry Truman spent 175 days of his presidency here in this beautiful, beautiful house. There have been 6 other presidents use this beautiful facility as well. President Howard Taft, Dwight Eisenhower, John Kennedy, and President Jimmy Carter, as well as Bill Clinton. A quick drive around the Truman Annex area to see some of the beautiful housing in this section of Key West. And wow, it was clear that we were definitely in the high rent district. Our next stop in downtown Key West,
Yeah, we're coming up on Duval Street.
which is home to a vibrant collection of hole-in-the-wall bars, historic haunts, funky shops, art galleries, outdoor cafes, and plenty of places to people watch. There are stores dedicated to hammocks and swimsuits, flip-flops. You can find designer clothes and handmade jewelry. And unique Key West memorabilia. And more places to eat than you can count. Including the Hard Rock Cafe, where Clay and I had a great lunch. Keep in mind that Key West is a cruise ship port, and on days when ships are in, it can get a little crowded here on Duval Street, but still manageable. You can also look online to see when cruise ships are actually in port and when they're not, so you can plan accordingly.
We're walking down to Mallory Square to see the sunset. There's all kinds of street musicians and street performers down here at Mallory Square, so we're going to walk down and check out the festivities.
Mallory Square is the waterfront plaza located in Key West historic Old Town. It's situated here on the Gulf of Mexico at the northern end of Duval Street. The plaza features shops and restaurants, an assortment of street performers, including musicians, one performer even had a canine to assist with taking tips. Pretty cool. There were magic tricks.
Pick that one. I said don't let me influence your choice.
And even a fire eater. But the biggest draw to Mallory Square is the nightly sunset celebration, a street fair where visitors and locals alike gather to watch the sun dip below the horizon. Clay and I had a wonderful time here in Key West, Florida. From the nighttime strolls along the harbor, great restaurants, and of course having family and friends drop by during our stay was just icing on the cake. Well, I hope you enjoyed our video down here in Key West, Florida. If you did, don't forget to smash that like button. And if you're not a subscriber, consider doing so if you enjoy the content. Be sure and join us in our next adventure as we leave this tropical climate of Key West and travel some 1,200 miles north to Pigeon Forge, Tennessee to enjoy some cool fall temperatures of the Smoky Mountains. Again, thanks for watching, and until next time, be well and stay safe.